gives me great pleasure to welcome Emma Farber to RAVSAK. Emma is an equestrian, and she's going to be talking to us about her love of horses and her school's equestrian team. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's start at the beginning. What is it that you love about horses?
To me, horses are kind of my outlet. They're the way that I can relax or cope with anything that's going on. I can get away from school or any other issues I may be going on. And my favorite thing about them is that they have a sense that humans don't have. They can feel whatever we're feeling. So in a way, I can have a complete conversation with my horse without even talking to him. And it's a pretty amazing feeling to be able to connect with an animal.
That is so cool. Tell me, how long does it take to become proficient to be able to compete as an equestrian?
So to be able to compete, it's not that it takes a certain amount of time, because there's, like in most sports, there's several different levels. So when I started, I was 11 when I started competing. And I went into like the bottom level and just kind of started figuring everything out. And since then I've worked my way up. But there's any level you can think of to ride horses, to be an equestrian. You can join in at any level depending on like the height of a jump or your age or the age of your horse. So there's kind of room for anyone.
Cool. So I understand that your school actually has an equestrian team, and I'm wondering, first of all, how it came about that team formed.
So the team formed, I believe, 2 years before I entered the school. There were a group of girls who were riding, and we needed to fill PE credits at our school, and they felt that they couldn't fulfill it because they had this other sport that wasn't offered. So I believe they went to the administration and just collaborated with a few different teachers and administration and made this team, and it's been going ever since.
How many students are on the team now?
Right now, I believe there's only 5 of us, which actually is a lot considering the sport. Most people don't know about it even. So 5 is a good amount.
I definitely agree. Whom do you compete against?
So in LA, there's a ton of different schools actually that have an equestrian team. And we go to one of the facilities, and there's maybe 80 to 100 different schools that come, like any of the big name ones. There's Oaks Christian to Harvard Westlake to Viewpoint and anything in between, and they all come out. And their teams are bigger than ours, but there are also teams with smaller amounts of people. So it really ranges.
I understand that your competition often takes you away from the school. Talk about that.
So I miss a significant amount of school. It started off my freshman, sophomore year, just kind of missing a Friday every so often. I would go to a show on a Thursday and miss Friday of school. But now, in my last 2 years, I've begun to travel across the country or to other states. So that's become more difficult. So I will leave for a few weeks at a time. This past semester has been definitely a challenge. I was gone for 2 weeks and I came back for 2 days. I went to Maryland and I came back for a few days, and then I left again for Pennsylvania for over a week and a half. I came back for a few days and then left again. So it's been difficult, but I've had amazing help by my teachers and the administration. They've all worked very well with me, and I couldn't be more grateful because it's something that I love, and my school has been completely and utterly devoted to helping me achieve my goals.
That's wonderful. And talk about what your goals are as an equestrian or in your sport.
So as of now, my goals are kind of fluctuating. I always thought that I would go to college to ride, and I still would love to. But as I'm kind of looking at different colleges, I'm finding other programs at schools that don't have an equestrian team. So I'm not really sure as of now where I want to go, but I have reached my previous goals. I wanted to compete in our national competitions. So there's a series of 4 of them. We go from Maryland to Pennsylvania to Washington, D.C., and then to Kentucky. And this past year, I was able to go to all 4 of them and compete and rank highly in the placings. And it's been an incredible journey. I am so grateful for it. I've gone to the coolest little places and also to the big cities. I competed at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. this past year, and it was unbelievable. I was walking down the middle of Washington, D.C. holding my horse, and that had been my goal for a few years now, so I was really happy to achieve that this year.
That's amazing. As we wrap up, is there anything you want to tell us about how the sport has impacted you as a Jew?
I think the biggest thing is the community. I come from a large Jewish community, and everyone is so close, and I know I can rely on anyone here. And it's very similar in the horse world, so that's been a great transition. And also, most people who ride, or a lot of people who ride, happen to be Jewish. And of the people I know who are Jewish and ride, I'm the most conservative. So it's been kind of interesting, but also a great opportunity for me to give my knowledge from being a Jewish day school child onto my friends. And this past year, actually, it was kind of funny, but also really great. I made a new girl who came to my barn. She didn't know, but she is actually Jewish, fully Jewish on both sides, and I had no idea. And my mom and I kind of found out from a few things that she told us, like her last name and her family heritage and everything. And we were able to kind of get her in touch with her roots and teach her about her Judaism. And there have been a few instances like that have been pretty amazing.